Samsung has finally come up with the Fold 3. Now, what is different about the Fold 3? Before we come to that point, it is important to note that this is the third iteration of a fold device from Samsung. And Samsung is the only company in the world to have gotten this far. And from the Fold 1 to the 2 to the 3, and I've used all of them, this is a much superior, much more polished, and much more perfect device. Is this a perfect foldable phone? Maybe not, but we are getting closer. And Samsung is really pushing the limit on how good a foldable phone can be or how durable it is. For instance, this phone, even though it's thinner and lighter than the earlier versions, is also water resistant. Samsung is not calling it dust resistant, but it really doesn't matter. It is water resistant, and that will be a big plus point. But is this a phone for everyone? No, it is not. And that is the point I want to address in this video. A lot of people are asking me, should I buy the Fold 3? So it depends on who you are, what kind of a smartphone user you are. So if you are a regular smartphone user, the Fold 3 is not for you. If you are a power user, maybe you have a second device, you carry a tablet wherever you go. That is the sort of person who needs the Fold 3. Why do I think that the Z Fold 3 is different or has to be used by different people? I'll tell you why. Because the phone, when it's folded, is a regular Samsung phone, a very good phone at that, with triple cameras and all sorts of things. It has a slightly smaller screen than you are used to, but that's something you will get used to. So that is not the issue. This is the kind of phone that you will use in its folded form most of the time. Right? This is what your go-to phone is, literally. The apps you have on the home screen of this will be your regularly used apps. It won't be the apps that you don't use so often. But when you open this phone, that is when your work part or your work persona, your professional persona sort of takes over. Your productivity persona takes over. And that is what you keep inside your, Microsoft Word, maybe your Zoom, all of that, because there is a huge and very superior multitasking layer to this phone. It is so easy to use, as you can see in the video. You can have 3 different windows open. The windows are customizable. You can drag and drop something from, a mail to a PPT. So the use cases are infinite. And that makes this phone a super phone if you are a professional. And then you don't literally need to carry 2 devices with you. That is when you start carrying the Fold 3 as the device. You do everything from making calls to actually checking spreadsheets. Imagine checking spreadsheets on a form factor this big. It's very tough to do it on a phone. It is still tough to do it on a tablet. But here you get the mobility of taking a spreadsheet and using it, updating it wherever you are. So this phone, primarily for its multitasking abilities and the fact that the form factor is pretty solid these days, makes it a great phone for professionals. The pricing of the Samsung Z Fold 3 also ensures that this is not a phone for everyone. If you are looking for a cheaper foldable device, there is of course the Flip 3, which is also a very interesting phone right now. But the Fold 3 is your professional phone. Look at it as the evolution of the Note series. I am not sure that Samsung is completely going to kill the Note series. But if the Note series is not there, Samsung would be hoping that those users who use the stylus, who had a larger screen, who needed the extra battery, all of that moved here. There is no extra battery here, as a matter of fact. But so look at it that way. So this is who the Samsung Z Fold 3 is meant for. Now, are there things that you should keep in mind? Yes. One, the price. It's not for everyone. It's a premium phone. It is a phone that is going to compete with the top level or the top version of the iPhone. The other thing, it is still a foldable phone, and foldable is still just a 3-year-old technology, which means if you look at this phone, you can still see a crease. The crease, I don't think, will ever go away in a foldable phone unless they rethink the technology. The crease is going to be there. The crease is becoming less and less visible. The other interesting thing that Samsung has done is with the front-facing camera, which maybe you can see here. The front-facing camera is not there when you're not using the camera. So there is it goes behind the display, which is superior technology, again. And when you switch on the camera and when you come to the front-facing camera on the app, it automatically flickers open, and it's a pretty interesting thing to see. And that's very good technology that Samsung has used. That also means that the screen is much better now. The other thing people have to remember is that this, though it's a pretty durable phone, is still a form factor that is susceptible to damage. For instance, if you shut the phone with something inside, it could crack the screen. It could be just a wafer, or a small piece of a peanut, or even maybe a small dust particle. So that is something you have to keep in mind. The other important thing is that it is still a difficult phone to open with one hand. It's a two-handed phone. So a lot of the usability is two-handed. So you will use the phone one-handed, but in the closed form factor. I hope that suffices, and that answers a lot of questions that you have been asking about the Fold 3. Before you buy the Fold 3, there are some decisions you need to make, and I hope I've made life simpler for you.